Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to create a project using the SQL extension, and also how to create a service to import data into the SkySpark project. So to start off, I'm going to create a demo project, and I'm going to select the demo project to open it, and then I'm going to go to the SQL tab and create a new connection. For right now, I have a database working in the background, so I'm going to connect to that using the SQL connection editor, and then double click to open up the server. So pretty much, if you have root access to the server, you can walk the entire server to get all the databases and be able to edit and display and manipulate them however you see fit. So once I click yes, it's going to walk all the databases, and now I have access to all the databases on that server. To start off, I'm going to explain what a SQL package is and also what a deployment scheme is. First, we'll start off with a SQL package, and the best way to actually learn what it does is to we'll click on it. So to start off, I'm going to click on the new SQL package, and then I'm going to select on the let's see real quick, the template type processor. What this does is it actually looks at your current template types that you've created and uses that as kind of like a breadcrumb to figure out how you want to import records into your project. So for instance, the site pack, which we created in the last video, has a hierarchy of a site equip point. If you follow this site pack using this template type processor, it will try to model it in the same exact way. So I'm going to go ahead and click it and show you what happens. So if you notice, I have three tab panes are created, and that they follow the hierarchy of the site equip point. The way that the SQL importation works is that you have to have a column on your table that specifies a unique identifier. It's just the best way to do it, and it's the cleanest way, and it's just the most stable kind of way to import data into your SkySpark database. And it should be a very easy process if you need to add a column to your table anyways, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. So to start off, we're going to go into our test database and go to our site table. So to start off, I'm going to select the column for unique identification, which should be the site ID column, and then I'm going to choose the display name column, which should be called site. Next, I'll move on to equip. If you notice, the parent ref is mapped to the site ref tag. I'm going to click on this toggle button here and have the column to look up for the site ref be the actually, let me move to the look at the equip table now. Will be the site ID. So what this does is it's going to look at each row, pick the site ID, and then map this equip to the site ID that it has in this column. The unique identifier is going to be, in this case, it's going to be equip ID, and then the display name will be equip this. Alright, so similarly, I'm going to finish it off with point. Let me move to a point. If you notice, whenever I query on the editor here, it actually populates the columns here. So if I look at TS value instead, it will come up with the column names in TS value. If you can see, these are all the column names in the TS value table. So I'm going to click on point to query the point table, and then I'm going to select the ID, which is going to be point ID. The parent reference is going to be the equip ID, and then this is going to be point this. Now I'm going to do something a little special here. For the site ref, you notice I have the site ref information here in the site ID. What I can go ahead and do is click on site ID, and what that is going to do is when it processes, it's going to ignore the first record ID, which is your ID. It's never going to mess with this pretty much, but it's going to look at all the other record IDs. So if you go ahead and map a column to a tag, it's going to check the local database to find to match the new generated rec ID to and replace that value here. An important thing to note is if you don't have unique identifiers, you're going to run into conflicts and overwriting, and it's just a really big mess. So a really important note is to make sure that these columns are unique. I mean, it could be the same column if you want. It's very flexible for what you want, but the one thing that needs to stay the same is that they are all unique. Okay, so that's pretty much set up. One thing you can do to test this, once you play around with it, you just press the test button here, and if you notice, I can do a query and see what sites will actually be generated. So I'm going to click on site. So you see here, I have 6 rows, and 6 records were created. So for equip, I'm going to select the equip checkbox and click on equip. If you notice, this is pretty much a preview of what's going to be generated into Project Builder after you create this. If you use these queries using the SQL package. So we go to point. All right. Okay, so that's pretty much all you have to do. So yeah, it looks pretty good. So now I'm going to save it. I already started here, so I'm going to call it test SQL pack. Click save. Click OK. All right. So the next thing you need to do, you can do this separately, and I'll show you why you might want to do this separately later. For now, I'm going to try to deploy. So I'm going to click deploy SQL package. It's going to ask you, would you like to create a new deployment scheme? For now, I'm going to say yes. And if you remember, it's called test. So I'm going to go to next. So this is exactly like the test area we saw before, and I'm going to pretty much do it in the same fashion. The reason why we separate this is because, say you have another database with pretty much the same schema, you can actually use the same package over and over and over again, just changing the deployment scheme for each one to make it work. So I'm going to click on site, and then it's populated. Equip. Oops. And then point. Okay. Alright, so it looks pretty good, and this is exactly what's going to get imported. So I'm going to say OK. I like to call this scheme test SQL scheme. And say OK. Okay. And now I'm going to click on the scheme I just made. Hit open. Pick the demo. Hit done. Say yes, and then close this real quick, and then boom. If you see here, all the sites are created, and all the references are created. This one is null because if you notice, we don't have a site ref 7, so it wouldn't know what to actually pick there. So if you want, you can always, if you want to go ahead and just edit this, you could actually go into a PHP MyAdmin, I guess, and create a site ref with the ID of 7, and then re-import this, and it'll actually overwrite what you have in here. Actually, it'll actually copy it. So if you just delete these, you'll come up with 6 or 7 new sites. All right. So if you look at the point, you can see the equip ref got changed too, but also importantly, the site ref got changed. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. Alright, so that's this part of the SQL extension. The next part is going to be going over the actual history importation.